to introduce Reva Butensky, Valedictorian, Class of 2014. Reva is not your typical valedictorian. You see, she actually has only attended school for 12 years. While most youngsters attend for 13 years, Reva skipped the 8th grade, or as we fondly call it in POB terms, she self-selected into the 9th grade. Along with her parents, Reva advocated for herself to join our school a year early to take advantage of all the wonderful courses and opportunities we had to offer. You see, she was a student at the Long Island School for the Gifted, where she was basically running out of courses to take there. For this reason, Reva felt she was ready to take the transition to POBJFK High School. Ready she was, as Reva is leaving us with a 103.59 weighted GPA and possesses one of the most rigorous transcripts that our school offers. Yes. Courses and earned AP Scholar with Distinction, National Merit Commendation, as well as the RPI Medal for Mathematics and Science Excellence. Throughout her high school career, Reva has been a very active member of the school community. Not one-sided by any stretch, Reva is currently the Vice President of the Student Government Executive Board, Varsity Captain of Quiz Bowl, President of the National Honor Society, the Managing Editor of the Hawkeye School newspaper, and one of her proudest accomplishments, she was awarded the title of Senior Celebrity's Coolest Nerd by her classmates. She's a devoted member of our science research program and has conducted research at Stony Brook University, NYU, and the Selective High School Honors Science program at Michigan State University. Reva has been recognized as a regional finalist at the Academy of Applied Sciences Symposium, as well as the Long Island Science and Engineering Fair. These accomplishments were rounded out when she was named a semi-finalist in the Intel Science Talent Search. Amazingly, she has also found time to somehow pursue her other interests as a member of the Drastic Measures a cappella club, Varsity Kickline, Robotics and Engineering Club, and was a very entertaining contributor to the class of 2014's senior show, just to name a few. Many times students of Reva's caliber have a difficult time finding a healthy balance between their scholarly pursuits and truly enjoying what high school has to offer. It is so refreshing to see someone who is able to flawlessly juggle both. In fact, the senior class advisors actually created a new award based on Reva's level of involvement and awarded her the class of 2014's MVP. Reva will be attending Massachusetts Institute of Technology as a chemical engineering major this September. Please.
Dragged here against their will. And finally, the guest of honor, the Plainview Old Bethpage John Fitzgerald Kennedy High School, and yes, that is a mouthful, class of 2014. Thank you. See, Mom, I told you they'd clap for me. Oh, and before I get started, I know some of you may be expecting me to perform this speech as a rap, but although there is certainly enough pomp, I'm not sure this is the circumstance. Now, classmates, contrary to the popular belief of the senior celebrity who voted me for, I know nothing more than any of you on how to be a successful person in life. But according to this title of valedictorian, I do know how to be a somewhat successful high school student. And considering as of tomorrow, none of that actually matters anymore, the best I can try to do today is tell you a story, thank some people, and hopefully make the women translating my speech into sign language laugh at least once today. But first, yet again, let me take a selfie, if you will. Thank you. Although my academic career started as a proud member of the Plainview Kindergarten Center's Orange Butterfly class, the next year, everything changed. I attended a small private elementary and middle school in the distant savage land known as Suffolk County before coming to JFK for my freshman year. So spoiler alert, to the Matlin kids who I told in 9th grade, I went to POB, and to the POB kids who I told, I went to Matlin. I lied. You see, while the idea of having a new beginning seems really exciting, I was really overwhelmed by having to start in a new school district with all new kids, all new teachers, all new gym locker rooms. Everything was new, and new was terrifying. I was scared of getting lost. I was scared of feeling isolated. I was scared of not having friends to rant to about my crazy history teacher. Frankly, I was scared of being the only one in the entire school who was scared. But once I got up the nerve to stop looking at the ground and start actively looking around in the hallways between classes, I realized that there just isn't enough time to waste any of it being scared. I started to notice familiarity in the faces around me, faces from my classes, faces from my sports team, faces from one of the way too many clubs I signed up for at my first club fair. This familiarity built up into my next great leap of faith in my freshman year saga, the all-important hi. And that was the beginning of something great. In September of 2010, new was terrifying. But as I stand here today before you all, on this stage, behind this podium, on this step stool, because apparently my heels are not quite high enough for this microphone, new is exciting, new is comfortable, and new has become home. No matter when we first set foot here, we've all come to feel at home in Plainview. It was in Plainview that, in 2012, the silent heroes of our class crafted and captioned enough funny internet jokes to be ranked as the #1 high school on highschoolmemes.com. It was in Plainview that in 2013, 2 athletes in our class spurred the movement to rethink the drink for the entire student body for years to come. It was in Plainview that in 2014, our class swept every category of sing. And I could not be more thankful to have been a part of that victory this year. We may not have a buzzing movie theater or a quaint Main Street in Plainview, but what we do have, ladies and gentlemen, is froyo, and pizza, and sushi, and bagels, and while there may not be much to do in Plainview, we sure are well fed. So now I have a few shout-outs to give. I mean, when will I ever get a captive audience like this again? First off, I'd like to thank all of the teachers and administrators who have made a difference in my life and in the lives of my classmates. I'd like to thank my guidance counselor, Mrs. Baker, for keeping me sane. All of the secretaries in the guidance office for collectively handling every single one of our college applications. And the women in the attendance office for being totally cool with processing all of our doctor's notes from Friday, May 23rd. I'd like to thank my parents, but instead apologize for the undone chores, slammed doors, sleepless nights, and crying fights. And lastly, I'd like to give the greatest thanks of all to my classmates here who have ever sold me a slice of pizza, 9th period, signed me into a club meeting when I really was not there, or liked one of my many, many Facebook statuses. Thank you. I'd like to talk just to my fellow graduates. Just 2 weeks ago, as we cleaned out the lockers we visited every morning at 7:15, or 7:29, or never, we flipped the last page in the second to last chapter of the books of our high school careers, with today being the final chapter. But guys, the sequel is going to look a whole lot like the original. See, it took me a while to realize that back in 9th grade, back when new was terrifying, everyone was getting lost. Everyone was struggling to find their lockers. Everyone was scared of being the only one who was scared. We all quite literally started from the bottom, and now we're here. And inevitably, wherever we find ourselves come this fall, we'll all be starting back at the bottom. Many of you sitting up here with me have never undergone a transition quite like the one that lies ahead, and the Etch-a-Sketch that is your future will be knocked completely blank for the first time. You'll face the challenge of having to make all new friends, meet all new teachers, maintain your first independent living space. But take it from someone whose Etch-a-Sketch has been knocked clean a few times. Don't sweat it. We'll all be lost, we'll all be terrified, we'll all find the new to be terrifying and then comfortable. Stepping out of your comfort zone and figuring it all out from there is half the fun. Not to mention it could make a pretty good topic for any future speeches you might have to give. So, go forth and conquer, stay classy, and for the last time, we are the senior what? Seniors! They are still awake. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2014.
Thank you so much, Reva. It is now my